The flock cameras, everybody know how these flock cameras work? I'm actually a satisfied customer of the flock camera because here's the way they work. They're set up in cities. They drive by. You get your license plate. Bing, bing. So if a cop knows, if they find out that your car is stolen, my motorcycle was stolen on Sunday. So now my motorcycle license plate is now in the data bank. Hopefully the cities that still have these things on. So all the cars that go by the camera, it ding, 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 ding. Thousands of cars go by. And all of a sudden, it sees your license plate. That's your car. You bought it. You pay the insurance. You pay the ridiculously high gas prices in the state of Washington. You pay for the police. You pay for these services. This is your money. And all of a sudden, the cop goes, bing, the thing goes, boop, there goes your car. With that, it then notifies the police that may be in the area, if we have any, and it says such and such car was just seen going down 196th Street or something. There it is. This is what happened for us when they found Nick's car. Bing, and then the cop was like, oh, there's the car. And then it said exactly where the car was. He followed it right in there. We got it back.
Bing.
So, bing, bang. About 85% or 87% of cars that are stolen are normally found within the first week. I learned that from the insurance companies. Wow. Okay. Part of that is also because of these cameras. Now, you're going to have people go, well, what about my privacy? Okay. The weird part about the privacy thing is like you don't have a problem with the fact that your phone is listening to you. So when you happen to mention, hey, should we get a cat? I don't know. Cats are fun. I'd like to get a cat. Where would we need a litter box, don't we? And then like 15 minutes later, up when your phone comes, looking for a litter box? And like, no, what the hell? The phone's listening to me. Okay, driving down the road, got a picture of your license, not your face. There's your license plate. And your car is not stolen and you paid your fine and they're coming after you for anything else. And it takes a photo of you and then it holds it for 30 days and then automatically dumps all the data. Away it goes. Now, yes, when you do sign up in the city, you say, who do I want to have available to be able to look at this data? And then it feds. So it's in there. What they haven't done, because Flock, the system, has grown so quickly that they haven't put additional filters in that says, okay, I'm okay with the feds trying to find somebody that has crossed into this state that has raped an 8-year-old boy. I want to get those guys because those guys, the FBI wants to go find, or drug dealers or something. Now, ICE, Homeland Security, is also involved in enforcing our federal laws, which is if you sneak into the country, well, that's a misdemeanor, 6 months in prison, you got fines, that's against the law, you snuck in, you broke the law, and therefore the law is written and they're going to come and get you and hold you accountable for your decisions to just walk into the country. So that's what the ICE does. Now, what's happening is in some of these cities, they realize, wow, look at all the people that are searching for data. A lot of them are Homeland Security because they want to find these guys, because they want to get these people out of the country, because they broke the law, they snuck in, they're not allowed to do that. And cities are now shutting down the Flock cameras, even though they catch criminals, even though they assist in stolen cars and hopefully motorcycles, and they bring justice to the streets. So they're trying to create the filter that would allow Homeland Security to not access that data. That's basically what's happening. So I think the last time we saw, I think Linwood shut theirs down. Redmond probably was the other one.
Renton turned off. So like you mentioned, there was essentially an automatic setting that said the feds can have access to this. So It's like a box they have to check in the software. So
yes.
Renton and maybe Burien had gone in and unchecked that box. So they're saying we want written we want to give written approval before we let the feds access our Flock. So they haven't shut theirs down.
Right.
They're just restricting.
The problem being is it's not specific enough. It's all fed. So it would be all search. It would be catching drug dealers, catching pedophiles, catching any other criminals and stuff. But then it also the Fed can also be Homeland Security. Right.
So they want to be asked to be given permission before they get access.
Okay, fine. There you go. So then the Redmond Police Chief, Darrell Lowe, was on with Jason Rands. And he's talking about the city council's decision to suspend the use of the Flock cameras. And he says, yeah, well, hold on. That's on me, Andrew, not on you. Put me in the book for that one. Hold on. Here's what our chief says.
Both myself and the mayor remain disappointed in the council's decision or recommendation suspended use of the flock cameras pending additional conversation with the council. We just arrested an individual yesterday, as a matter of fact, in South King County that was responsible for a street armed robbery and pistol whipping here in the city of Redmond, and it was through an AOPR hit that we were able to track that person to the south portion of the county. We arrested him yesterday and recovered a stolen firearm. And that's just...
Oh, okay. So he pistol whipped somebody. He had a gun, allegedly, all this sort of stuff, right, till proven guilty. And they caught him with the camera. Are the people of Redmond safer not having somebody with a pistol driving around, pistol whipping people? Are the people of Redmond safer? I would say yes.
One, that is the reason for implementing this technology, is to both be a useful tool near real time, but an important investigative tool after a crime occurs.
Yeah. So then Rance asked the question I would ask.
Anytime a tool is taken away from law enforcement, it creates a challenge. I'm not going to say we're less safe, but it does create an investigative challenge for us. This was, a very promising, piece of technology and a tool. And I'm confident that with, additional conversation, with our council, that we will be able to resume use of AOPR technology.
Yeah. Okay. So Rance wanted to know, is the city any safer? Yeah, you're going to catch, the faster you catch them, the less likely they are to commit another crime, right? They don't all of a sudden see the error of their ways and, turn themselves in or stop committing crimes. Criminals create crime. That's their job. So here's what happened. There was a city council member. I'm going to get the last name right, Joe.
Ooh.
It's a long name. I wrote it down phonetically.
Sound it out.
Nueva Camina. Thank you. So the city council member, Nueva Camina, is talking to the police chief. You might have heard this story. And she's concerned that ICE is getting information as to whether or not there are people that are illegal immigrants that are in Redmond that have broken the law. That's a law. You can't come into the country. So here's the exchange between Nueva Camina.
Nice.
And your police chief there in Redmond.
While your department will not do anything to cooperate with ICE, there's also nothing that your department can do to intervene.
Correct. They are operating under federal law and federal authority, and federal law and authority supersedes that of a local jurisdiction. So we would not be able to interfere or intervene in their particular operations.
Now, we've seen in other communities where it's been the community then taking it upon themselves to essentially fight back against ICE.
We've seen in other communities, like as in Portland, right? Texas, and Chicago, a police officer was shot, I think, on Saturday. He was in critical condition. More than 1,000% increase in ICE officials being assaulted. Let me back it up. When she says fight, she wants the community to fight?
Now, we've seen in other communities where it's been the community then taking it upon themselves to essentially fight back against ICE in their communities. So basically what we're letting our community know is, hey, from a city perspective, we really can't do anything, and it's upon you then to stand up and fight back against ICE in our communities.
I can't support or advocate for that. We are here to keep the...
Why not? Come on, Chief. Come on. Don't you want to encourage the people to rise up and fight and resist? Get the people of Redmond. Those Redmond folks are. They're rough and tumble. Hey, there's a nice guy over there. Put down your latte. Get in there. Huh? Get off your laptop, Redmond guy. Hey, if I were you, I'd take that fleece polar vest you got on and pull the zipper down a little bit and let that guy get a little Mary Jane right in the face. see what the chief has to say.
Peace. Individuals have a right to, I'll say, conduct themselves in the manner they see fit, but we cannot support or advocate for, I'll say, violence or, fighting against federal agents. Our role is to keep the peace.
But the peace has already been broken, Chief.
Okay.
Oh, whoa. Okay, I see. All right, I follow this line of thinking. So the peace, I don't know what the peace has already been broken. Okay. So the peace is already broken. So at this point, let all hell break loose, right? Is that the idea? Since peace is already broken, I don't know what she's referring to, then therefore the next resort is to fight.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Okay. That's kooky talk.
So Jason was also asked in the interview that he did with the chief if he thought she meant, just physically fighting or just in a protest kind of manner. And he said, I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. I think it was she was in the heat of the moment. She didn't mean physically fight, but he could easily see how somebody.
No, the peace has already been broken. So she's saying at this point, she's asking the citizens of Redmond to interrupt the action of a federal authority to enforce a federal law. It reminds me, you go back to the 1960s, right? And when you had racist governors and elected officials, calling for, well, let's stop the people from going into the schools. Let's do everything we possibly can to stop the federal authority from desegregating our public spaces. Similar, I guess, but in this case, since the peace is already broken, let's start, whacking some of these ICE officers. Because here's the problem, because words have meaning, right? And if you get some nutball who hears a city council member saying, well, now since the peace is already broken and since you're not going to be able to do anything, then we need to do something. What stops somebody, as in Chicago, as in Texas, as in other places, somebody decides to take a shot at an ICE officer or hit them over the head or spray them with mace or something, right? Because let's face it, the peace is already broken, so why can't we just take it a little further? Has this person, this city council member, this Angie, how's her name again?
Nueva Camina.
Yes. Has she said anything else after that?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.